Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had one of the more enjoyable Elite Four battles, but their champion was not so great. Geeta's team was quite a mess and quite forgettable compared to Cynthia, who is an iconic champion and one you get scared to face. One easy fix for Geeta's team is to change the order of it, and it would make the team a lot more memorable and challenging. I believe Pokemon picked are for each region or area from the game being desert, plains, ocean, snow, bamboo, forest, and caves, and it makes sense being her team. Gym leaders, Elite Four, and the champion did not use items in their battles, so we won't be changing this at all and trying to keep with the current game trends. Let's go through Geeta's team and discuss what could have been done differently. As I mentioned, an easy fix is changing the order of her team, so let's do that. Her current order is as follows: Esperatha, Go-Goat, Veluza, Avalugg, Kingambit, and Glimmora, with a Rock Terra type. How would I change the order? This is how. First up, Glimmora has a great ability which drops toxic spikes on the field when hit by an attack. This ability is called Toxic Debris. This will be perfect for a lead Pokemon, and yes, Glimmora is meant to be Geeta's ace, but it's too good to leave till later in the battle and should be her first Pokemon out. This means Glimmora will not be using the Terra type, and we can be slightly annoying and give it Spiky Shield over Terra Blast to help the stall and whittle down the challengers and Pokemon who may be poisoned from the toxic spikes. This Pokemon would be such a challenge first up, because no matter what you hit it with, it's going to drop a layer of toxic spikes, and unless you have Rapid Spin or Defog, those toxic spikes are going to be on the field for a long time. Her second Pokemon out is going to be her Esperatha, which is an interesting Pokemon, but not super amazing. Esperatha has a moveset of Dazzling Gleam, Luminia Crash, Reflect, and Quick Attack. Let's get rid of Reflect since it's not going to be the lead anymore, and swap it out for Feather Dance to help lower the enemy's Pokemon's attacks, and Foul Play to help with coverage. This can be swapped out for Quick Attack. This doesn't change his Pokemon significantly, but it makes it more annoying and more of a consideration for the challenger and more of a threat. Third, we'll have Geeta send out Go-Goat and keep the current moveset for Go-Goat the same. This Pokemon could have potential to be Geeta's ace, but we want her to have an ace from Paldea, and Go-Goat can just come out and try and sweep and get a lot of damage off. Bulk Up will be the first move clicked, and then have Horn Leech, Play Rough, and Zen Headbutt, which will give this Pokemon great coverage. Third means Pokemon will be potentially poisoned from Glimmora's ability, and Esperatha may have started weakening the enemy or lowering their attack stats, meaning Go-Goat can come in and set up and hopefully get some damage off on the challenging team. After heavy consideration, the fourth Pokemon was going to be Avalugg, but instead we're going to swap this out for a Paldean Ice type, and that's not going to be Boxcalibur, because Boxcalibur is already in use by an Elite Four member. So Titan would be the next best option, a Paldean original with great potential. It would make sense for this Pokemon to come out next because its ability is Thick Fat, and to eliminate Go-Goat, the challenger will need to send out either a Fire type or a Flying type, and then the Fire type will do a lot less damage to Titan, while the Flying type will have a significant weakness to Ice typing, and Titan can just choose what to do and take one of these Pokemon out. Titan, however, doesn't have the greatest moveset, but we can rock with Blizzard, Body Slam, Ice Shard, and Earthquake for a surprise. I am unsure why Avalugg was used on this team to begin with, but Titan is a much better choice and a Paldean original which fits this gimmick. We're down to the final two spots now. Next out in the fifth spot is Veluza. Now Veluza had a lot of potential with a great attack stat of 102 and some small bulk, but the speed stat is what lets this Pokemon down a lot. Coming out this late in the game is good for this Pokemon who can either click Agility first off or just go all out with Liquidation, Psychic Fangs, or Crunch. Setting up Agility will help this Pokemon be a late game sweeper, or just by attacking makes it somewhat of a threat without the speed boost due to the high attack stat. Veluza would have benefited from an ability like Speed Boost or Strong Jaw, but it only has Mold Breaker. The potential was definitely there, but as a Paldean original, it has to remain on this team. It's time for the ace and the Terra Pokemon that Geeta is going to use. Kingambit is perfect to be Geeta's ace Pokemon and has a strong fighting spirit just like the champion should have. Kingambit gets a great ability called Supreme Overlord, which gives this Pokemon a percentage increase to all of its moves for all of its fallen team members. And we send this Pokemon out last, meaning it gets a 50% boost to all of its moves, which is insane. Straight off the start, Kingambit can Terra into a straight Steel type, which helps the resistances and weaknesses a lot, and we can leave its moveset almost the same, but swapping out Stone Edge for Terra Blast, and this is going to be a great moveset for this Pokemon. Kingambit would be the perfect role of the ace and endgame threat, and unless the challenger dealt with the toxic spikes, their squad would be whittled down by the poison and vulnerable to any damage. This is where this Pokemon shines the most, and this boost that it gets from its ability will be great to destroy what's left of the challenging team. Geeta had the potential to be a great champion, but the team order and random picks really did not help her out at all. I feel like she should have had more of a story, but this is the story for Scarlet and Violet, with quite a lot of the game being random and hardly memorable at all. These changes will help her team be somewhat more threatening and enjoyable to battle against, and the changes aren't game breaking at all, and it keeps the backbone of her original team. How would you make Geeta more of a threat? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.